Hello everyone, welcome to another Frosta Friday. Today I bring to you, I believe I have 10 horror books. I didn't really put a number on it. I just narrowed down as much as I could until I was satisfied with my final pick. And these are in no particular order. I loved them equally. And if you want to know what my favorite overall ultimate best of 2001 picks for horror and thrillers mainly, but my overall favorite books, I will link my video. I'll start with the backlist. I have 5 plus an honorable mention. My honorable mention is Lucretia and the Coons by Victor Laval. It's a novella, so I wanted to squeeze it in, so I'm honorably mentioning it. It's short and sweet, but it's this beautiful, haunting story about a girl that lives in this not so nice apartment in a not so nice neighborhood, but they do the best they can. And she has a neighbor, they're really, really close, but then this neighbor disappears. And Lucretia is really, really sure that she has been kidnapped by someone on apartment 60, which is blocked off. Nobody goes there. And it's her quest through this crew scary people to rescue her friend. It's just beautiful. Laval's prose is beautiful, and so it's a punch in your gut. It makes you really think about the way the world is. He makes amazing social commentary in the creepiest possible way. My next backlist is a book that I'm still waiting to get to me. Is The Nesting by C.J. Cook. In this book we follow Lexi. She's down on her luck. She was just kicked out of her own apartment by her boyfriend, who dumped her for her best friend. And then she doesn't know where to go. She doesn't have any money. And she's on this train and she overhears someone saying that there's this perfect nanny opportunity. It's going to be in a very remote part of Norway. Great pay. You live with them. It's guaranteed for 7 months, and more than anything, she's going to be away from everything and everyone that is bringing her down. So she figures it's a perfect opportunity, since she'll have nowhere to spend her money, to go in there, make herself an Easter egg. No, a nesting egg. Save money to... Sorry, it really snowed last night, and what you can hear now is the snowplow can't do anything about it. But save money to get back on her feet. Only she gets there, things are not as it seems. For one, she's lying. Did I tell that she applied to the job as this other girl? Yeah, because why not? And things are creepy. And there's this figure that she can see, and the children see it too. That's how I'm gonna say this is an amazing book, highly atmospheric, and I really love C.J. Cook's prose. I also have an honorable mention, which is a 2021 release, The Lighthouse Witches, which is a gothic-y kind of vibe again. And it's about this family of 3 women who move into a lighthouse. Again, they have nowhere else to go. They're starting life fresh. And then they hear about this legend folklore of the wildlings. These beings that kind of pretend to be children. They're really creepy. And they don't like people that go into the cave down below, because that's where the folkspeople from way back when used to imprison witches. And they are their curse. And then 2 of her girls go missing. Many years pass. The only one that didn't go missing, it's now an adult, tried to live her own life. She never gave up looking for them. And then she gets a call from the police. Oh, look, we found your youngest sister. And she's 7. Yes. So she hadn't aged a day. Can she be a wildling? Who knows? But she'll definitely go in there and try to find out. It's a beautiful book, honorable mention, because they're both by the same author. And that was totally unplanned, but I'm sticking to it because I couldn't decide which one to put on my list. Sorry. Next, I have The Exorcist. I finally got around to reading it by William Peter Blatty. I think anyone who has read or watched horror has at least heard of it. And if you haven't, I compare it to the movie. And I'm linking it down below. It was one of my 13 Nights of Halloween videos. Wow. Wow. It's so beautiful. It's kind of different. You see many more things. I really enjoy in this book to get into the mind of some characters, and it's not as scary as I thought. I discovered that I can't really picture things reading, so that book is responsible for getting me to, you know, jump into all the horrors I wanted to see, because they're not going to scare me as much. Yay! The next backlist horror that made my favorite list this year is 12 Nights at Rotter House by J.W. Ocker. This is basically the story of Felix. He really wants to be, you know, one of those people that go to haunted places and write about it, and he needs to make money desperately. He hears about this, you know, Rotter House, and decides to go in there to feel what it's like and write a book. And once he gets there, things are not quite as they seem, or are they? I don't know, but it was a very interesting, with a fast pace. It's kind of psychological, but also very creepy. And there are some caveats, some language, and some, you know, mild sexism going on, but it was very much part of the character. So at least it had a time and place within the narrative, but I really, really enjoyed. I both read the book and I heard the audiobook, and I cannot picture which one is better. Next, I have The Winter People by Jennifer McMahon, who has become one of my favorite authors. Like the way she weaves past and present in all of her books that I've read so far. This is a dual timeline book. We have 1908 and then in present time, and it's just beautiful. And whenever there are sisters or family ties, she builds that relationship so dynamically and poetically beautiful. She has a haunting style. I think she might be the modern day Shirley Jackson. I'm just saying, it's just, I leave her books feeling just as engrossed as I feel unsettled in a good way. So this is a book with a very interesting and fresh mythology. I went into it blind, and I recommend that you go into it blind as well. This will be the book club pick for Rachel's Patreon book club in February. So if you haven't read it already or you want to discuss it, I really recommend you join her book club. I'm going to link it down below, as well as her channel. And I can't wait to reread this book, and I'll be able to talk about it with people, because it was very lonely when I read it at first. So those were my backlists. I couldn't recommend them enough. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be the person, okay, that says pick up the book because it's better to go into it blind, because you think you're going somewhere and you go somewhere else, but you enjoy it quite as much. So, sorry, I guess maybe that's the theme of my favorite horror books of this year. But anyway, I'll start with The Watchers by A.M. Chine. This was my hidden gem. I really loved it. It's one of the things that I figure out really scare me, the kind of thing. It gave me major Mist vibes. If you play the game, you know. But we follow Mina, who's on this mission to deliver a bird somewhere because she's on her luck again, and they're gonna pay her to do it. So she goes. Then her car dies in the middle of the road, forest to one side, forest to another. She doesn't know what to do. So she thinks, oh, maybe if I just cross through the forest, I'll get somewhere someone can help, because the road is still way, way long ahead of her. And then she goes to during the day. And without realizing, the whole day goes on. And then this woman is screaming at her, "Get in the bunker, get in the bunker." She runs to the bunker. Just as they run to the bunker, the door is locked. And then these creatures start making this noise. Within, there are 3 people who have been there for a while. They can't leave because, you know, they are creatures in the woods that really want to get them. They come out at night. They rip you to pieces if they catch you. And if you're locked in the bunker, they can't find their way in, but there's this glass wall, and they just watch you all night long. Oh, it's so creepy. I really enjoy the book. And the author has another book coming this year. I cannot wait to read that. The cover is stunning. I'm waiting for the hardcover to come out and possibly go on sale, but I really want that book. Next, I have Near the Bone by Christina Henry. This copy was gifted to me by Lisa. Thank you so much. I'll link her channel down below, Pink Paradox Reads. This, first of all, here, look at this cover. The North American cover is just as beautiful, but this cover is life. Look, look. Okay, so in it, we follow Maddie. Maddie lives in this cabin, has never seen the world. She lives with her husband, someone who is quite ill-tempered. And then they find footsteps around. It seems like there's this kind of monster looming around. He starts freaking out because usually with that kind of monsters come people. And he really doesn't want people to know they are there. But people come snuffing anyway, and she tries to shush them because really she doesn't know what's scarier, the monster or her husband. So this is a very beautiful, Christina Henry really knows how to tell a story. You picture yourself there, you feel what she wants you to feel. Her prose is life. So I really enjoyed this book, and I cannot wait to read more from Christina Henry. Next book I have, and I'll just mention very briefly because I do have a video review of All's Well by Mona Wad. I guess this will be kind of a divisive one, but we follow this teacher, you guessed it, down on her luck. She's like really crazy and in pain, nobody believes her, and she's just about to give up. Like, her life is shit, like seriously is shit. And then she's like, okay, if I can do this one thing and relive my glory, maybe things will be all right. So she decides that she wants to do All's Well, that ends well, for her play. She is a theater teacher at a college. Well, guess what? There's a mutiny because the queen bee leads the rest of the cast, of the students actually, and they want to do Macbeth. Sorry if the angle changed. Badly died. But anyway, so she's really down on her luck, and they want to do Macbeth instead, and she goes like, no, 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 no. You're not going to take that away from me? Or they might. And then she meets these 3 very mysterious men that promise her not only everything she wants, but everything that she doesn't want. They promise to throw on her enemies' lives. It's amazing. Like, she's so neurotic. Miranda is just extremely neurotic and all over the place. Be prepared to read this book, and while you're in her mind, you will feel very, very anxious because that's who she is. But I loved all the Shakespeare references. It was a brilliant, brilliant book, and towards the end, the 3rd act is like a fever dream, and I'm down for it. Next, for my favorite 2021 horror reads, we have Come With Me by Ronald Malfi. And all I'm gonna say is, 1, read this book, and 2, his prose is beautiful, but if you need just a little more, we follow, what's his name, Aaron's Aaron is a happily married man. One of the day, there's this random shooting. His wife dies. He is thrown out for a loop. That woman was the love of his life. He doesn't know how to live without her. And his life is shaken. Everything he knows might not be what it seems, because he finds the receipt for a motel in her closet. He's packing them up to donate. And he can either believe that their life was a lie and he doesn't know his wife, or get the truth. Because the truth can either be that, or it can be something else. But by knowing the truth, he feels like he can definitely move on. So he decides to go with that, and he starts by his quest to figure out why her wife had the receipt and who she really is. And he does so by following her steps. And now things are going to be loud. My son really likes inviting his uncle to come over without letting us know or anything. I mean, not that I dislike him or anything. I feel like I'm not really focusing. Okay, guys, I'll figure out if I'm focused or not by the end of this. I have one more book, and I apologize about the background noise. But the last book I have is The Last House on Needless Street. Please go into it blind. Check the trigger warnings and read this book. I think this is one of those divisive books. Either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. There's no way in between. But this is such a beautiful book. We have Ted. He lives with his cat, Olivia, and his daughter, Lauren. And they live on this last house on Lily Street. They are very private people, and they like to keep it this way until someone moves to the house next door. And the whole dynamic that has been working for them is put in jeopardy. And that's it. Like, literally. Read this book, but don't read anything about it, because it sucker punches you. Some people don't like it. I loved it, and I ordered this edition. Like, look how beautiful. The naked cover. I really, really enjoy this, and they definitely put a Patreon award on my radar. I'll come back on Monday with my best thrillers of 2021. I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful weekend, and until I see you on Monday, be the hummingbird. Bye.